Super Showdown. We'll see what happens. My thoughts and opinions coming up next. And you know what's coming up next. As always, roll that damn intro. Alright, what's going on, guys? Yes, from the project back at it again in here for the video for you guys for today. And in here, yes, for my WWE Super Showdown 2020 review. I guess if you want to put it this way, it's more like a pay-per-view now, even though it's more like a special. It's all confusing. Not exactly the best pay-per-view that you really want to have, especially on the road to WrestleMania. And I stated this before too as well. And having it being that there, I'd rather have like a fast lane or something else out of that and have this just be like, you know, a couple weeks before the upcoming pay-per-view and then keep going that way. But we just had one of these too in the fall as well, so it wasn't that long ago that we had a Super Showdown. But with all the controversy, with all of that, gonna have to really power through this one because, you know, with this one, don't really get too disappointed and upset and all that stuff about that too often. So it's saying a lot coming from me, especially. So as always, got the tablet. Might as well just start all the way from the beginning and then go towards the end, towards the main event. So go from there. Anyway, we had the only kickoff match between the Viking Raiders and the OC. At least with the Viking Raiders, they're actually having actual tag team matches, and what I mean by that, not having to face local talent now. So that's fine. That's what I want to see out of them. And they're actually a really cool tag team, so they deserve that. And unfortunately, they didn't get the win, and the OC were able to get the win, which is fine and fair, since most recently they were able to be known as the best tag team in the world and having their tag team tournament match, basically, and being able to have that right there. So there is that. Then where we had the gauntlet match, and basically for a trophy and everything, where we had in this one, where we had Eric Rowan, AJ Styles, Bobby Lashley, Rey Mysterio returning Andrade, and we had R-Truth. And with this one, basically R-Truth taking the beating, especially by Bobby Lashley, not being able to move on and taking his frustrations out and trying to last as long as he could. And in the end, as well, fast forward, it's actually nice to see Andrade get involved and everything, since we haven't seen him for a little bit. So there's that. Also, where we then had basically where it was supposed to be Rey Mysterio, he ended up getting taken out by the OC, and then the OC ended up getting taken out, but of course by the Undertaker on this one. So, you know, it's a nice surprise. You know, been hearing rumors about it and didn't know if he was going to actually show up in the match or whatever, do something, and he was able to do that. And the final person who was there with him was AJ Styles, and of course we had the choke slam, and that was pretty much it. And the Undertaker called it a night and actually won the trophy. So I'm thinking it's going to be the Undertaker and AJ Styles at WrestleMania. It's definitely not going to be like a long match. I can expect that, especially now from the Undertaker getting up there in age and everything. So I'm sure they'll actually make it entertaining in their own way. So we'll see where that goes. Even if it does happen, I'm not too really sure about that. So things always changing, especially with matches lately. So it's almost hard to tell, definitely for sure. But in the end, we had the Undertaker getting the win there. And then basically, what's pretty rare when we have Mansoor actually being in action. We don't get to see him in action as often as we should, but he was able to face Dolph Ziggler. And actually cool back and forth match, and Mansoor was able to get the win. So I don't know what this means for Mansoor. Are we going to be seeing more of him? I know last time we did get to see him was also on NXT at one point, so maybe we'll see more of him on there. I don't know, but it sucks we don't really get to see him because I think he's pretty cool. So that's just me. Then we had the Raw Tag Team Championship match where we had Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. Now they're calling him Murphy, which is pretty stupid. I don't like these shortened name changes and everything. It works with some people, but not with everyone. But we also had Street Profits as well on this one. And it would have been nice to have seen the Street Profits actually get the win. That would have been cool, but I can kind of see that at WrestleMania. And Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy doing their own thing, especially with the whole Monday Night Messiah thing. I actually like that. So that's actually growing on me. And I think that's really cool for Seth Rollins to finally be a heel again. So that's working well. So I'm not really too mad at that, really, with Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy getting the win there. And then also, of course, with the feud continuing, saw it here where Roman Reigns was basically humiliated by the whole dog food incident. So it's been going on ever since October, ever since. And now Roman Reigns and King Corbin still going at it, hopefully with this steel cage match. And now that Roman Reigns was able to get his win and maybe moved on from King Corbin and maybe the feud ends there. Hopefully you would think so. But sometimes, especially like with steel cages, where it's supposed to basically end, especially like a steel cage or a Hell in a Cell, something like a big match like that, it's supposed to end feuds. But nowadays, they don't always end them, so hopefully this feud will come to an end. I'd like to see them do other things and move on, basically, when it comes to that. Then also, SmackDown Tag Team Championships on the line. And Miz and Morrison taking on the New Day on this one. And it's actually been cool having John Morrison back. I like that he's a part with the Miz, but at some point I like to see, hopefully have John Morrison be in a singles one. I think that would be pretty cool, much like what he's been doing when he was in Impact Wrestling and everything. So I like to see that at some point. But this was a fun match, and in the end, well, I kind of thought New Day was going to retain it. I didn't think we were going to see many title changes and stuff like that, but Miz and Morrison were able to get the win even though the steel chair was involved. The referee didn't really see it, and Miz and Morrison get it done. So we'll see where things are going to go unless there's a rematch on SmackDown or something like that. But I'm actually happy that Miz and Morrison are tag team champions, so we'll see what comes out of that. And then where we had Brock Lesnar and Ricochet for the WWE Championship, and this one honestly was disappointing. I wish it lasted just a little bit longer. Basically, statement made by Brock Lesnar and not really giving too much of a chance for Ricochet in this one. So I'm hoping there would be a rematch, but I was really hoping that it would be like a match where we see Brock Lesnar and Daniel Bryan or AJ Styles or Rey Mysterio or something like that. At least give it some time, but that really does suck for Ricochet on that and not being able to get that much time. But hopefully there would be something out of this and there would be a rematch and continue things. I know it's going to be Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, so who knows? We'll see what happens there. And of course, where we had the SmackDown Women's Championship on the line and where we had Bayley and Naomi, who recently returned at the Royal Rumble. Really refreshing to have her back and everything. It's really nice to actually have a women's match at these shows, so it's not just men's matches only, and it feels more refreshing, and it's really that much more better, so to change it up. And this one where we had Bayley ended up retaining, so I'm sure Naomi will get her chance and everything at some point, so we'll see when it comes to that. And of course, The Fiend and Goldberg, the main event for the Universal Championship, and I definitely, to say the least, wasn't ready for The Fiend to lose and Goldberg actually winning the way he did and everything. So I'm thinking maybe Goldberg now is going to have it be where it's a short run and The Fiend's going to get it back somehow, whether it's at SmackDown or Elimination Chamber, because I don't really see Goldberg actually being champion for that long. So that's what I'm thinking. Hopefully we'll see, because I've been liking the Fiend gimmick ever since he started this, so I've been a huge fan of it, and I'd hate to see it just be just done after all that and not have it be a waste of time and stuff. So I think it's definitely one of the best things going, especially for SmackDown, where they can use some more star power, definitely for sure on that. But that's basically Super Showdown in a nutshell, what happened and stuff like that. Wasn't ready for the Fiend to lose, but hey, it is what it is, unfortunately. So again, like I said, hopefully he'll get it back, and you can't really complain too much when other companies do not have people with Goldberg's age be champions. We've seen it in NWA with the Rock and Roll Express and stuff like that in ROH. So, you know, it does happen, but it depends on how you do it. And with the Fiend and Goldberg, I feel like we could have got a little bit more out of it. But hey, that's just how I feel. We'll see what happens, as always. But until then, that about does it for me. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Leave it in the comment box, as always. But not done there. Definitely not done here and there, because got AEW coming up this weekend for AEW Revolution. Now that's going to be dope. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a fun pay-per-view. So definitely have been liking AEW, but I will get into that later on in the weekend. So at least look forward to that. Until then, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and as well leave your comments in the comment box as always, and we'll talk about what happened with Super Showdown and how you feel about it, all that stuff, well after the video is up. So until then, I'll catch you guys in the next video, whenever the hell that next video may be. Until then, I'll see you guys and see ya, and peace.
Get it, I got it. Tryna go diamond. Okay, forget it, I got it. Okay, forget it, I got it. You kids ain't really about it. I stay posh, I'm tryna go diamond. Okay, forget it, I got it. Okay, forget it, I got it. These boys ain't really about it. I stay side tryna overaccomplish. Okay, forget it, I got it. Don't worry, I got it for real. Don't worry, I'm honest as hell. Don't worry, I keep it a bill. Honestly, Phil, you finna go fail. So when you say my name, you better go chill. Never know when, you never know where. But chances are I run it in there. Something's weird, you shit in my tracks for a couple of years. Now you love it when you suckers appear. Think I got a motherfucking idea? Oh yeah, and I got another one here. A for effort, but you never compare. I just got this devilish stare. So what my reflection said in the mirror. But after this, but the all be